I literally just watched a business owner explain his business for 20 minutes. By minute 3, I've got to tell you, I've already forgotten what he actually does. Too complex, too many moving parts, no filter. Here's what I see constantly. You're working 80-hour weeks, you've got staff, you've got systems, you've got revenue coming in, but you can't take a holiday. You can't turn your phone off. You can't let anyone else touch the important stuff. Why? Because your business is just complicated. Not complex, complicated. There actually is a difference. Complex is rocket science. That needs to be complex, right? That's what it does. It's complex. Complicated is when you've added so much shit on top of shit that nobody can figure out what you actually do anymore. And here's a killer. What you think that's normal, right? Most people go like, I can't understand it. You think that every business owner kind of lives like this, and they don't, right? The best businesses I've worked with, businesses doing 10 million, 50 million, 100 million plus, they're simple, dead simple. And there's a framework that shows you exactly where the complexity is hiding. It's called S3, 3 filters. Every business needs to pass all 3, and then you've got a great business that you can explain to people exactly what you do rather than it being complicated and it's all in your head. Now, S3 stands for simple, structured, scalable. Not simple or structured or scalable, all 3 at the same time. I've tested literally this with over 200 businesses, from 500 grand in revenue to 100 million plus. Trades, construction, NDIS providers, tech companies, manufacturers, engineering, it doesn't matter. The framework works exactly in the same way. Now, here's how it works. First filter is simplicity. Can someone who's not you explain what your business does in literally 30 seconds? Not the fancy marketing speak, the real answer. If I grabbed one of your staff members right now and said, hey, what does this company do? Could they tell me clearly? Or would they stumble around going, well, we do this and we also do that, and sometimes we do this other thing? Well, that's the test. Simplicity isn't about being boring, it's about actually being clear. You know what's simple? We help Australian builders go from good to great using systematic coaching. It's pretty simple, right? That's what I do, simple. You know what's complicated? We're a holistic business solutions provider leveraging synergetic methodologies to optimize operational excellence across multiple verticals. Whew. I actually fell asleep reading that. Do you see? There's 2 totally different parts of simplicity. Now, second filter, it's actually structure. Is your business process-driven or people-dependent? There's a big difference. Process-driven means what? You've documented how things work. Anyone literally can step in and follow the process. People-dependent means that if one person leaves, I've got to tell you, you're stuffed. Now, let me give you an example. Formula One pit stops. You've seen them, right? I mean, you know, even if you're not into Formula One, you can see it, right? You can understand it. It's pretty basic. If not, check out YouTube and go and watch one. Car comes in literally 100 miles an hour, stops on a 10-cent piece, up, 4 tyres off, 4 tyres on, back on the track, 2.4 seconds. That's the world record. I mean, how do they do that? Even I'm kind of, mind blown with that. Well, they do that through structure. Every person knows their exact role. Every movement is practiced. Every scenario is documented. They don't rely on, one genius tire guy. They've got a system. Now, imagine I grabbed you and, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of your employees, right? Threw you into a Formula One pit crew. How long would that pit stop take? 2 minutes? 5 minutes? Now, it's not because you're stupid. It's because you haven't gotten the structure. That's what most businesses look like. You've hired somebody with experience. You assume they know exactly what to do. You throw them in, and guess what? Well, now you wonder why they're not working. See, structure actually means 3 things. Number 1, a documented process, not in your head, it's written down. I love it if it's actually filmed and it's accessible. Second, clear roles. Everybody knows what they're responsible for. No guessing. Third, training systems. You can take someone from not knowing that much to being competent in a defined time frame using a system. Most businesses have none of this. They've got this tribal knowledge passed down person to person, like a game of literally telephone, right? And then they're shocked why the new hire can't do what the old person did. Now, third filter. So we've got simple, structure, simplicity, structure. Third one is scale. And this is where most people actually get it wrong. When I say scale, you probably think growth, more revenue, more staff, bigger office. That's not scale, that's expansion. Scale is about leverage. Can you do more without working more? Now, let me show you the difference. I've worked with a construction business owner, 110 employees, starts at 4 in the morning, finishes at 7 at night. Is that scaled? No, that's actually death by expansion. I worked with another business owner, 20 million in revenue, works 24 hours a week, travels in a caravan around Australia while running the business remotely. Now that I love. That's scaled. Got it? Two differences. See the difference? You can see one's kind of frantic, pulling their hair out. The other one's kind of cruisy because they've got it down pat. See, most people think that scale looks like this. Big arrow pointing up, more and more. I think scale looks actually like concentric circles. Incremental, compounding growth. You build one solid layer, then the next, then another layer. Each layer actually gets you stronger because the foundation is solid, not faster, stronger. And here's what's cool about real scale. It gives you lifestyle. Can you take a holiday without actually checking in? Well, that's scale. Can someone else run your business for a week? Well, that's scale. Could you sell your business tomorrow if you wanted to? That's scale. You see, if you've answered no to any of these, well, you actually haven't scaled. You've just gotten bigger problems. Now, let's think about it. With Formula One, it wasn't always 2.4 seconds. They got it better and better and better, and they refined it to that incremental compounding improvement. So here's how you can use this. Run your business through this S3 filter right now. Simplicity question. Can someone explain what you do in 30 seconds? Write it down. Actually, write it down, not in your head. If you can't do it clearly, your business may be too complicated. You need to simplify this. Structure question. If you disappeared for a month, would your business survive? Be honest. Would the wheels actually fall off? If yes, you don't have structure. You've got a job that pays you really well, not a business, because that means you can't even take days off. And here's a scale question for you. Are you working more now than you were 2 years ago? If you've grown revenue, but you're working more hours, that's not scale, that's actually a treadmill. Do you see the differences? Most business owners fail one of these filters. Many fail two, and some fail all three. And that's okay, because now you know where the problem is, right? Here's what I see most often. Trade business. They're simple. Everyone knows what they do. Kitchens, bathroom, renovations. But they've got no structure. It's all in the owner's head, and they definitely haven't scaled. Tech businesses, as an example, they've got structure usually. Processes everywhere, documentation literally coming out of their ass. But they're not simple. 50 products, 100 features. Nobody knows what they actually sell. Everything's really, really complicated. Some service businesses, they've scaled, multiple locations, lots of staff, but there's no structure actually holding it together. It almost feels like a domino, right? Every location does things differently. I've seen this heaps of time, especially when we've worked with, franchise type operators. You actually need all three. That's the point. It's S3, simple, structured, scale, right? Now, let me show you what this looks like in practice. I run a group coaching session. Actually, sessions, not sessions. Not one-on-one anymore, groups. Why? Because I realized something. The best breakthroughs don't come from me. They actually come from other business owners solving the same problems, literally, that you've got. Last week, we had literally a session that was just amazing. Business owners ask about hiring. You know, we can't seem to find good people, can't keep good people, can't train good people. You can't understand the problem, right? This is happening all over the place. Another business owner jumps in and says, here's what I did. We created recruitment videos, not ads on Seek, actual videos showing what it's like to work here. You know, got my team to talk about the culture. Didn't even put myself in it, just the staff. You know, it cost me $2,000, got 15 quality applicants in a week, hired 3, all still there 6 months later. I mean, how awesome is that, right? That's worth more than anything I could literally teach you about hiring, because they came up with it, because it's real, it's tested, it's from somebody in the trenches. It's literally business owners just like yourself. That's what community does. That's why S3 works better in a group. You get simplicity from seeing how other business, you know, structure actually their offers, what they do, how they do it. You get structure from stealing processes that they've already worked with. Actually not stealing, it's actually borrowing, which is even better, right? You get scale from learning what worked for someone 3 steps actually ahead of you. How cool is that, right? I believe, you know, community is always good because you're learning from more than one person. Now, here's what I know after 15 years. Most business owners aren't smart. They're capable. They work their ass off, but they're missing a filter. They add complexity when they should simplify. They avoid structure because it feels kind of restrictive. They chase scale before the foundation is solid, and then they wonder why they're exhausted. S3 actually fixes that. 3 questions. Every decision you make, run it through this filter. You know, does this make my business simple or more complicated? Does this actually add structure, or does it rely on me being there all the time? Does this help me scale, or does it just make me busier? That's it. 3 questions. Now, if you can answer these honestly, you'll build something that I believe doesn't actually need you to survive. And isn't that the whole point? That's kind of why you got into business. Not to build a business that consumes your life, but to build a business that actually gives you one. One that's simple, one that's structured, and one that's scalable. That's the S3 system. Now, I work with business owners on exactly this. The group coaching is awesome. It's a community of operators ready to do the work. If you want help implementing this, check out upcoach.com.au. But even if you don't work with me, please take this framework and use it. Run your business through the S3 filter. Find where you're actually failing and fix it. That's how you go from good to great. Simple. I'm Nick Psaila. Thank you for watching. And remember, the only way is up.